What is reproductions? Reproductions involve the formations of individual whose genes come from a single parent. Gymnosperms is a plant that has seed are protected by an ovary of fruits. Gymnosperms include the conifers, cycad, and gingos. There are two types of the reproductions, that is sexual reproductions and sexual reproductions. What is sexual reproductions? Sexual reproductions is used by many unicellular organisms, plants, and lower animals. Involve only mitotic cell divisions, which is each offspring has exactly the same heredity as its parents. It is also usually rapidly compared to the sexual reproductions. Sexual reproductions in plants. Spore formations. Small specialized cells that contain a nucleus and cytoplasm surrounded by a thick wall which protect the spore. Under the right condition, the spore can rise to a new organism found in bacteria, mold, yeast, mushroom, mosses, ferns, and some protozoan. Bulb. Short underground stem surrounded by thick leaf contain store food. As the plants grow, it produces new bulbs which will grow into new plant. For example, tulips, onions, and lilies. Combs, similar to bulbs but do not contain leaf, just underground stem. For example, water chestnut. Tubers, enlarged part of an underground stem that contain store food. Potatoes are tubers. Eyes, which is a tiny buds that can form a new potato plant. Runner or stolons. Horizontal stems above the ground with buds. If a bud touch the ground, it will form roots and stems and start a new plant. For example, strawberries. Rhizomes, horizontal stems that grow underground, thick and contain store foods. Upper portions form knots which will form buds which will form new plant. Lower portions form roots, for example, ferns, gingers, and water lilies. What is sexual reproductions? Involve the fusions of male gametes and female gametes. Both are haploid, producing diploid zygote. In order to understand how sexual reproductions take place in plant, you have to know that the structures of the flower first. The flower structures first is sepal, also known as calyx, green leaf-like structures, outermost a wall of a flower. Second is petals, which also known as corolla. Second outermost wall, bright color, which is to attract pollinating agents. The third one is androeciums, which is a stamen. Male reproductive parts consist of anthers, pollen sacs located at the tips of long filament. The type of flowers. The first one is perfect flowers, which also known as complete flowers, have both male and female parts. Second is imperfect flowers, which is incomplete flowers, are either male and or female parts. Some plants may have both male and female flowers. Sex may be on separate plant. The important terms: monoecious plants, a plant species in which male and female organs are found on the same plants but in the different parts, which is flowers. Second is dioecious plants, a plant species where male and female reproductive system occur on separate plants. The third one is bisexual flowers, flowers equipped with both stamen and carpels. And the fourth one is unisexual flowers, flowers having stamen but no pistil, or have pistil but no stamen. Sexual reproductions in higher plants. Flowers are hermaphrodite structures which have both male and female reproductive system. There are also unique sexual flowers such as oil palm flowers, which has a separate male and female trees. The process of the sexual reproductions. Fertilizations take place in the reproductive organs of the flowers. The female organs comprise of stigma, style, and ovary. Collectively are called the pistil. The male organs consist of the anther and filament and are collectively called the stamen. The tomato flowers of most commercial cultivars are self-pollinating. The pollen from the anther is transferred to the stigma of the same flowers. Tomato flowers will be cross-pollinated occasionally. When this occurs, the pollinators is usually the bubble buds or bubble bee. Once the pollen grain is landed on the stigma, the tube cell of the pollen grain elongates to form the tube. The tube reaches down the style all the way one of the ovule in the ovary of the flower. Once the tube is formed, the pollen grain, the two sperm cells then travel down the tube into the embryo, which is called as embryo sacs inside the ovule. The ovule is fertilized through a process called double fertilizations. It produces a diploid zygote and a triploid endosperm. The endosperm will store foods for the embryo. The fertilizer ovule will become one of the seed of the potato fruits. The seed contains an embryo and endosperm and is covered by a strong seed coat, which is known as testa. The testa is unique to tomatoes. The seed form a thick outer epidermal layer. These cells partially breaks down the hairs which is left behind. These hairs collect the gelatinous material which give the seed a gully, which is soft and sticky membrane. This process forms the testa. The part of the embryo are as follow: the shoot apex to cotyledon, tomato is dicot, the hypocotyl, and the root apex. The differences between sexual and asexual reproductions. For the sexual reproductions, it has two parents, fusions of a female and male cells, which known as gametes. Parent and offspring are not identical. For the asexual reproductions, it consists of one parent, no gamete are produced, and parent and offspring are identical.